Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm making a delicious dessert. It's an old Transylvanian square recipe called Figaro, and it's one of my family's favorite desserts. With melt in your mouth pastry, a layer of sweet jam, and a delicious walnut meringue, this is one recipe you don't want to miss out on. So let's get to it. What we need for this recipe: 4 eggs at room temperature, 3 tablespoons of sour cream, 1 tablespoon of lemon rind, 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder, 3/4 cup of butter or margarine, 1 tablespoon of milk, half a cup of sugar, just granulated white sugar, and 2 cups of all-purpose flour. For the top layer, we are going to need the egg whites from the egg and also 2/3 cup of powdered sugar. I have here 1.5 cup of finely ground walnuts. Jam. You can use raspberry or other berry jam, dark jam if you can. Some rum flavoring or vanilla extract. First thing first, I'm going to grease a 9-inch by 13-inch glass pan. It doesn't matter what pan you have. The size is 9-inch by 13. And I'm greasing it with some ghee. You can use margarine or you can use spray. If you have a good spray, use that. Just to grease the pan. Doesn't need a lot, just a little bit. Next, we are going to separate the eggs, the yolks from the white. The yolk, we are going to use it for the main butter. And the whites, we are going to make a meringue and use it on top of our squares. I'm going to separate the 4 eggs. Very careful not to break the yolk because we don't want any yolk in the whites as we need it for meringue. So make sure there is no yolk ending up in the white. If you are scared that you can break the yolk, you can do this. Just break it and then put it in your hand and hold it like this and shake it so the yolk remains by itself, and the white is in the plate. Next, I'm using my stand mixer and I'm going to add the paddle to my machine, and I'm going to start. We first add the margarine. And also the sugar. And we are going to cream the margarine or the butter with the sugar until it becomes creamy. After about a minute, the mixture has become creamy. So now we are going to add the eggs, 1 yolk at a time. Remember, the whites we are going to use for the meringue. So a few seconds to let the yolk be incorporated into the butter mixture, and then we can add the next one. So the last yolk is in. And now we are going to start adding the rest of the ingredients. The lemon rind. So next I'm going to add the sour cream. I'm adding the baking powder. I'm adding the milk. And now I'm going to add the flours in 2 or 3 additions and with the machine on low so we don't end up with flour everywhere. So all the flour is in and the dough comes together. I'm going to stop the machine and remove the dough. So I'm removing the dough from the bitters. You don't want to overwork it. It's just until the flour is all incorporated, basically. And we can give it a few turns, knead it a little bit here on the board. I'm going to clean out the dough from my machine. Okay, the dough is out. I'm going to just add a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick. And just gather everything together and press it into a rectangle. This dough is perfect just the way it is. If you can see the consistency, it's a very nice dough. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to use some flour on this board. So I'm going to roll it out to fit into the pan that I prepared. Rolling out the dough just enough to fit into the pan. Here is the pan, and now I'm going to lift up the dough and place it into the pan, just like that. Doesn't need to be perfect. So now you can push it into the corner with your hand. So I'm going to use this roller to push the dough into the corner. Or you can do it by hand. Whichever works. Okay, it's all done. So now we are going to do the meringue that goes on top. This is a perfect time to start the oven, to warm it up at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You have to always make sure that your bowl is clean and has no traces of oil, as your meringue won't turn out the way you like it. I'm going to use these beaters to beat up the egg whites. I'm also going to add a pinch of salt. I'm going to beat up the whites to soft peak. So they are soft peak. And now I'm going to add the sugar and continue beating. Machine has been going so I beat them about 3 or 4 minutes longer. And now it is like very stiff. So I'm going to add my rum. You can use vanilla. This is rum extract. And give it another few seconds to mix in the rum. So the meringue is done. I'm going to remove. Look how stiff it is. Basically, it should be turned upside down and it won't fall out. This rum smells delicious. So what we are going to do now, add the walnut and slowly, very slowly, fold it into the whites. And when I mean folding, I mean go with your spatula under and turn it around easily so it doesn't break much of the whites. And this looks pretty good. Absolutely delicious. Okay, and now I'm going to set this aside for a minute and I'm going to go back to the dough, which is in the pan. And we are going to add the jam on top. I'm recommending a jam that is a little bit on the tangy, on the sour side, not a very sweet jam. It goes better with the meringue. So spread the jam over the dough, just like that. Very simple, very easy. So it's one pan. You don't need to bake separate pans. It's all in one pan. This is gonna be delicious. And you don't have to remember the ingredients and the quantities. I'm going to leave the ingredients below this video in the description. And now we are going to spread the meringue on top of our jam. Very careful so you don't pick up the jam. Spread it around all the way to the end. Make sure to cover everywhere evenly. And then it will go in the oven. Use a metal spatula if you have. It works the best to get a very smooth layer. If you find this recipe useful, please remember to hit the like button and to share the recipes with your family and friends. I will be happy to hear a comment from you, so feel free to leave me a comment. The dessert is ready. I baked it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. Let it cool before cutting into it, and then you can cut it into squares as you wish. Bigger or smaller. Oh, look at this. Mmm. Mm. The squares turned out just as I remembered them, soft and delicious. They will keep well in a covered container for a few days. If you like my recipe, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Try them and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.